JigJaw episode 28 and stand by Nicoletta please. Episode 28 and Nicoletta go. Right, here we go. Here we are, episode 28 and crocheted knickers. Look at these. These have come in, just checking you can see them. I don't know if you see them. Right, these are, these came from the Shires. If you can see the, I can't see if you can see the colour. Look at that. Look at those. You'll all be envious now. So Steve, imagine what you're going to get. Look at those, the colours, the crocheting, the extra bits and bobs. Ah, nice. You will all be wanting those. And I've got a receipt as well from, it's called Jones's Intimates. As discussed, please find enclosed item Empire quality ladies crocheted undergarment with thanks. There we go, boom. Thank you very much. So the Shires have been very busy. So Philippa, you'll be wanting to look at those. I don't know if you can zoom in, but a lot of work has gone into those, and that's just one pair. So can you imagine the boys' ones? So I'm going to leave them there because I think they're very fancy. So yeah, thanks to the Shires. Looking forward to the Eau de Fleur champagne to go with it. So they'd be very busy up there. So they were very excited that those arrived, and as was I. And I laughed so much when I undid them yesterday because I think that they're very pleasing. So crochet knickers are a thing. There they are. They've been made for me. Mother-in-law's going to have some. The whole thing's going to happen. Everybody's going to have them soon. But what you might have duly noticed also, sorry, I've got to wear this watch to keep the camera, oh, it's a long story. Freddie's insisted I wear it, so I keep the watch knowing what I'm doing. Okay, so a few of these bread pieces have been done, right, see? Still got our piles, but we're getting there, look. Look here, this is coming on, over there's coming on stripy bits. Those who mocked me, and well, who still are mocking me, to be fair, I haven't had a day where anybody's gone, just crack on, doing well. I mean, I've had relentless trolling from people who, I was surprised, I won't lie. However, I am actually doing some jigsaw puzzle, and down here, let's move all this out of the way. Down here is a mere festival. See, it's this piece here, I've done here, I'm doing a bit here, Beth's doing sterling work with here. But yeah, so look, I think I don't know if you can zoom. If I get another camera, I'm just about managing with one. If I get another camera, I can possibly put in extra shots, can't I? Okay, so I'm just gonna. I printed off a couple of photographs that just make me laugh, right? So I'm gonna have them here because we've seen a lot of my mum, we've seen a lot of Nathan, and I just think you deserve to see those photographs. That one there. Just very pleasing, big gold statue. If you ever go to Baku, there are these enormous things all around. We had a good day there. And this is the landlady, again, of Hove, actually wearing a pair of, well, that was in a sort of mafioso Italian restaurant out there. And I'm not sure what they were, but they look like castanets or not, anyway. But I thought you might like to laugh just every now and again. If you look at some, I know that a lot of people aren't actually watching, a lot of people are just listening while they cook their casseroles. Or sitting in the garden in a hammock, apparently. So anyway, you might just have a quick look at those. They'll just make you chuckle, because even just looking at those photographs makes me laugh. Which is always good, isn't it, in a funny old time that we're having. Okay, so what news since I last downloaded? I had an absolute nightmare downloading these. Absolute mare. For reasons that I don't really truly understand, because I'm a bit thick. But they take absolutely hours, and the last one I did, I thought uploaded, it didn't, so you're going to end up with 2 at one time. You are, because I can't work it out. It goes all night, and then it says processing, and then it stops. So something's gone wrong, but it doesn't matter, because it really doesn't matter, does it? This doesn't matter. Okay, I'm waffling now. Okay, so my mother-in-law. Okay, if you haven't been watching these, quick précis. My mother-in-law. She went topless in the garden the other day. Iceland delivery pops in. he screams, he sees, you know, drops his aubergines with shock because he just bowled through that back gate, sees her topless. Anyway, he sends then a box of fab ice creams as a thank you or an apology. We don't know which. I think it's a thank you. Anyway, she was determined to get some mini Viennettas on sticks, right? Because she loves them. We all love them. They're an absolute bloody triumph if you get to go to Iceland, get them mini Viennettas on sticks. Exactly, Binky, little moan there. Anyway, so she did it. I can't remember if I updated you or not, but the Damart peephole that she wore yesterday or the day before was such a hit. She got 2 boxes of mini Viennettas. I thought one, but had been updated. No, he came around the back door, saw the peephole Damart on my mother-in-law. Thought, great. So she's got 2 boxes of mini Viennettas, and I don't think you're quid's in there, aren't you? Hey? So I've just nipped up here because I'm like a woman on a mission when I see these pieces. I know, even though there are 5,000 of these pieces, I'm getting to know each piece, and I know which piece, which area they should be in. Oh yeah, I'm all over this now. You might all mock and ridicule and say it's appalling, but I feel confident that I'm doing excellently. I have to believe that. Slurp of tea. Hold on, please. Hold on. Right. Steve from Fulham has emailed and said, ooh, I'm my way. And he's also said, have you seen anybody in a vest tighter than mine? No, I haven't. He works out a lot, protein shakes a lot, and no, Steve, I haven't seen anybody wear such well, I'd say ill-fitting, but you've chosen to wear them like that. I haven't seen anybody in a vest tighter fitting than that. No, you're completely correct. And right, the Predator. Right, okay, so it was Fred's birthday today. The cake was as successful as my Battenberg. Let's just put it like that. But it was too hot to carry it out here. It was full of cream and I thought it looked a bit toxic, so anyway, that went in the bin. We didn't even like the candles, actually. That's how successful that was. Anyway, it was chocolate and raspberry, and me and Beth thought it looked really good, sort of rustic. It sort of looked a bit, yes, it looked thrown together, and turns out it was thrown together, but I thought it was one of those ones where you say, oh, it's arty, or, you know, I did it like that on purpose. But I was on the phone and Matt came towards it, and then he actually broke down laughing at it. So then I realised he didn't go, oh, wow, that's amazing. He had to hold himself up on the kitchen cabinets. Anyway, so he yesterday had some jazz station on. Yeah, which some of it's alright, but some of it gets a bit intense for me. A bit serious jazz, a bit wooden pipey, you know, all that stuff, like Rick Wakeman sort of jazz. I don't know. Anyway, some people love it. Obviously, there's an entire station given over to it, and he was listening to it, and suddenly there was scatting. If ever you have heard jazz scatting, it's just atrocious. It is. I actually have, well, you know, if you listened earlier, Bethany has an irrational aversion to Fiona Bruce on Antiques Roadshow. Not Fiona Bruce in general, just on the Antiques Roadshow. She's got like it really bothers her. Well, scatting, I've discovered, has the same effect on me. It actually makes me feel really debilitated. And it's all off the beat, it's all I can't even turn pieces over if they're concentrating. Anyway, I just thought that somebody, surely to God, agrees with me that scatting is abhorrent and should not be performed anywhere. Like actually, I'm not a fan of banning, but I am a fan of banning scatting. And I thought you should know. I wrote it down in my little notebook, scatting issues. So, I mean, I'm sure the Commodore will have opinions on that, because I cannot, cock, I've just broken a bit of my excellent jigsaw. No, you can't go out for it because I haven't got time. These half hours go really quick. Every time I think, oh, I wonder if I can fill half an hour. It turns out I could do a lot longer. Fortunately for you lot, I'm keeping it at 30 minutes to be professional. Anyway, so scatting. Unacceptable. Scatting. Job done. Don't ever do it. Don't encourage anyone to do it. don't go and watch it, don't listen to it. And if you say to me that you do like it, I think, and you know me as a friend, I think we need to really talk, and I might get you into here to discuss it, to actually defend scatting. Because I can't countenance that people go, oh God, that's a great scatting session. Unacceptable. Right, good, I'm glad. I just wanted that out there. Nicholas from Islington, who dear? Me dear? Me dear? Yes, you dear. Still no dog. Absolutely no dog. But he did message me, and he said that I've got to read this out, he went to Olympic Park, you know, the Stratford Olympic Park Gardens. He went there and had a big walk around, it was very beautiful. He said, but he went up Tessa Giles Boulevard, which I thought was an absolutely brilliant statement to message me. So I'll say it again to you. Nicholas from Islington, who dear? Me dear. He went up Tessa Giles Boulevard. So I thought you should all know that, because I think some people, it's just good, isn't it? It's just absolutely brilliant. I haven't been up there, but he said he highly recommends it. So thank you for lining that one up beautifully, Nicholas of the Islington, who dear? Me dear. Good luck with the dog. Right, hello Bethany.
Hello.
How you doing?
I've just spilled tea on my dress.
How did you do that?
Don't know.
Right, you're doing well over there.
Yeah.
You're doing well over there.
What time have you got to go and pick up your mum's prescription?
After this, I'll do this and then we'll go.
Okay.
Okay. Right, what else is happening?
Crochet knickers so I can get to the rest of the puzzle.
Oh, controversial. Well, I'll put the knickers over here.
Just because some of the stuff for this,
this
part might be...
I will move. Yeah. Also, Betty, you don't get to say that very often, do you?
No.
Do you mind if I move those crocheted knickers? Right, I'll leave them here because that's an area we want to do anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I trod on a bit. Hang on.
Oh.
Piece on the floor. That would be fiancée Zoe tutting at me. Oh, piece on the floor, I told you. She's going to say a massive I told you so if we get to the end of this and we're a piece missing. She's going to go, There won't be any, like, oh, that's a shame. He's like, yeah, I know, of course there is. It's a debacle. Right, what else? So the Netflix series White Lines, John from the Shires, yeah, and Claire Nippletassels, Beckham, they both agree. They have all got into it. They had to watch it like we had to see what on earth happens, but it becomes absolutely ludicrous. And Matt and I were actually out loud guffawing, laughing so loud that Fred came in and said, "What you're laughing at? It's White Lines." The story starts off good, and I like the actors in it, and then it just becomes shambolic. So if you do watch it, and I totally agree. You do have to watch to go. You do have to continue, don't you, to know what happens. It's a weird one. Even though you're cross with it. Oh, those bits. There's a little pile of those. I think they're over there. Don't go. That is so delicate on there today. Exactly. Love it. Right, so that's that. However, I am desperate, and I know that I have to watch it on my own, for the Jeffrey Epstein documentary. But I know that Matt will
You
not.
have to watch that on your own, because Dad doesn't like watching that.
He won't watch anything with orange jumpsuits, death row, anything. I'm naturally drawn to it. So I'm going to have to find a time to watch that on my own. That keeps flashing up.
Why are these pictures of Svenny?
Who? The landlady of Hove Actually, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're just funny.
Oh, okay.
Right? They're just funny, look. So I've just left them there to please the eye.
Okay.
Right. So Nanny Tish. She's feeling a bit wibbly wobbly. She's not 100%, is she?
No.
But we saw her yesterday for Fred's birthday, and she'd organised a socially distanced afternoon tea for him in the garden, which was really lovely. But as we were chatting, we started laughing because she said, I walked Betsy over the park. She said, I saw a lovely cock-a-doodle-doo. And we were really laughing because I think it's a cock-a-doodle? Cock-a-poodle. Cock-a-poo. That's it. It's a cock-a-poodle. Oh no, she called it a cock-a-poodle-doo. A cock-a-poodle-doo. That's it. And she goes, why are you laughing? I said, it was just, I'm laughing now, but I've got the entire story wrong myself. We said, it's just because you called it a cock-a-poodle-doo. And it's funny, isn't it? She goes, well, it is a cock-a-poodle-doo. No, it's cock-a-poodle. Anyway, just went on. But it was very funny. But she's sort of down over the park now. She's got her list, Beth, hasn't she, for you? And what is the last and most important item?
Starbucks
latte. Yeah.
or Jimmy's.
Or Jimmy's she's accepting now, the Jimmy's lattes. She's, yeah, some of the other inferior brands she's not accepting, but Jimmy's or those lattes from Starbucks, she's all over. Good, so that's we laughed at that. There's an advert on the telly at the moment, and it's got a juicer in it, where a girl mixes up a bright green juice, and she feels physically sick looking at it, right? Well, and this reminded me, again, wrote it down in my notebook, that I once, again, oh Beth, there's a stripy bit. Oh, for over there, just put it over there and I'll come over and do it. If you listen to the other one, obviously I have these moments where I think, right, I'm going to do these amazing health kick things, right? And I did the apricots and the dried fruit when I was in Glasgow, and that didn't go so well. So I bought a juicer. Everybody was juicing. This was a few months ago. Juice. Let's juice. So I bought the juicer. I bought more fruit and vegetables than I'm actually growing in my garden. I bought a ton of it. And I said, right boys, we're going to juice. I'm going to juice. All it is about the juicing. I got the app for the Juice Man or whatever it's called. And did my first one. That was okay for breakfast. It was alright. It's a lot of noise, a lot of effort, but I did it. And then I did the second one. I was like, oh God, we could really do a round of sandwiches. You can't do that. And then by the third one, I couldn't physically drink it. It was bright green. I literally couldn't look at it. I couldn't look at the juicer. I couldn't look at I felt physically sick. So I never juiced again. And so I love that advert because it really makes me laugh, because the juice was as bright green as that, and I'm sure people, absolutely love living like that, but I couldn't actually do it for all the effort it went. I did more effort getting it all together, and couldn't bear it. So that was not even one day of juicing. So if you see that advert at the moment, I mean, it might have gone by the time I listen to this, but it does make me laugh. Right, so sourdough. People have been asking me about Fred's sourdough. So just so you know, I overheard here Matt talking, saying that the hydration levels were a bit higher today in today's loaf, which I know there was a lot of knocking on the bottom of the bread and a lot of chat about it. It created quite a conversation. Matt went, really? The hydration levels are higher? Interesting. And then they went off. That was it, I lost them to hydration levels in sourdough. But I know a lot of people message me going, how is Fred's sourdough today? It's like that.
We've got a Dutch oven for his birthday.
Yeah, so for Fred's birthday, because it is all about sourdough and starter and levain, we've got him a Dutch oven, which weighs the same size as the house, the same weight as the house. And so he's done a particularly good one in the Dutch oven. Well, remember, Beth. Now, apparently, according to my sources, I mentioned about the college I went to. It's still, when I went there, it had a whole lesson. I was laughing and mocking that they had an entire lesson on how to make food for the stage out of mashed potato. And I have been told and informed by an informant they still do it. they still have lessons where you make food out of mashed potato. So if any of my stage management mates have ever done a show where they have had to make food for the stage out of mash, you immediately get in touch, please, because I need to know that, because I'm old, and done all those shows in theatres, and I've never made anything out of mashed potato. So I'm dying to know which theatre emporium cracks those out. Maybe it's just one where that particular tutor trained, or I've just missed the boat and missed my vocation. So yes, food. So Laura from Brighton, who I trained with at the Mashed Potato College, she's messaged, and obviously she's featured a lot. Cress got a click briefcase with files and pockets and stuff, and had a pencil skirt, beg your pardon. And her email was really funny today, and I couldn't print it for God. I have no idea why, because I managed to print the Commodores beautifully. A couple of his, fine. I tried to message hers, print hers, didn't work.
See you back inside.
Oh, Beth's got bored. Bye bye.
I'm not bored.
Just bye bye.
Okay.
Bye. Anyway, so sorry, what was I saying? Yeah. So she's messaged me to remind me of a few instances, because I think she thinks I'm missing out some. Which I am, but for very good reason, because I'm standing by with them, because I'm padding it out. But I obviously have a lot of stories about my general buffoonery. And at college, I do have one, but I want to print her email out because the way she wrote to me was really funny and correct, and I can't deny what she's saying. But basically, in tomorrow's episode, I'm going to talk about the fact that she tells me that I destroyed the props room by climbing on the shelves, that I nearly ran her over with a prop car on the stage because I was chatting, and an incident with a fire drencher. Now, this one I totally and utterly haven't not wanted to do it. I really wanted to do it, but it's too boring to go into. Anyway, but one I will tell you, which really makes me laugh, because my constant efforts to lose weight. When I was at college, I was like tiny whiny and a size 8. But I went and worked on lighting as an opera festival out in Italy, and I flew out there and I got the train down for hours. I sat and I was so nervous I didn't know where to get off, that I sat on my suitcase in the doorway of the train, and it was basically halfway down Italy. For hours and hours I sat on there. Anyway, while I was out there doing lighting, I had the best time. It was in an old convent and it was completely amazing, and I'd never done anything like it ever. And, oh sorry, just a bit of spire there, fitted that. But while I was doing the lighting, because I was on the follow spot, and I was sat on a wall all night, and we, of course, lighting, you work all night. So when everybody else went to bed in this convent, everybody just kept bringing us biscuits and ice cream. So I went out 8 stone, I came back 10.5. I was only out there 6 weeks, and I was absolutely enormous. And so Laura says, you'll never forget my mum's face when they picked me up from the station, because I looked like I'd been inflated. I mean, oh God, if I could get down to 8.5 stone now, bloody heaven. But I was literally, my mum, they didn't know, because I hadn't got a clue. So I was really pleased with myself, like, oh, I've had the amazing mate. I looked as brown as a berry, but I also looked like I'd had been inflated by a bicycle pump, because I would look so different because the change was so quick. But every night they used to bring us these. I sat on a wall for all night. We worked all night, and because obviously it's dark at night, isn't it? And yeah, and they used to bring these amazing Italian biscuits in bags, and I just shove it in all night. Didn't even think of it. I didn't even consider. Oh, that's when I fell in love with a gay man as well. Oh, that's very popular with me. I did that a lot. Oh, I remember had a super crush on this guy who was a big old doodah. But I always, yeah, I did that a lot. Right, now over here, this is most pleasing because, let's have a look. Because these are coming together. It's these little stripy lines. I mean, I don't know what they mean or what they are, but I'm going to put those knickers back, because I think those knickers, now Bethy's gone. I mean, she moves them, doesn't she? And then she leaves. Hang on, I'm going to put them back. Yeah, pride of place, my crochet knickers. I'm so excited about Steve's. I think Philippa's going to have to really ramp up the assistance though, because, oh sorry, Philippa. He's going to wrap up the assistance for poor Marie, because the work that's gone into those, but the extra work that's going to have to go into the crutch area. Anyway, so I was over here, wasn't I? So I think I'm going to start on these yellow pieces. Yep. Oh, you see, it's very rewarding. I think everybody should be, like, I think everyone should have a jigsaw in their lives. What? And I'm making you have one, aren't I? Oh, does that go in there? Does that go in there? Where's that go? Oh, please work. Oh, no. Sorry, I'm getting a bit lost in the jigsaw, not talking to you. Anyway, so yeah, so Laura has given me a lot of ammo about myself, really, and about, I mean, when I was at college, there's one particular tutor who, when I was there, you could smoke in the college, which was, and I'd never smoked, and never liked it particularly. Well, I'd never liked it. And so I had the little office down by the stage. And so when I was a stage manager, it was my turn to be a stage manager, and I made that office a no smoking office. Fair enough. It was the size of this table, this office. Oh, hang on, I've got to have a cup of tea. Excuse me. It's a good drying day out. I've got loads of washing on the line. Yes, so I made this office a no smoking office. This tutor, she lost her mind at me. She came down because she smoked, right? So she wanted to sit in that office and smoke and be one of the gang. She lost her mind. How dare you make this a no smoking office? Can you imagine saying that now? she just basically ripped me apart. How dare you make this a no smoking office? Everybody's got the right to be in this office. You can't say that it's not. I said, there's no ventilation. It's horrible. It's tiny. And I was told I was a stage manager on this, and if I'm in here all the time, which I am, I'd like to make this a no smoking office. Oh gosh, she was absolutely abhorrent. And yeah, she told me I wasn't going to ever go anywhere. And well, she certainly, she might be right. Hang on, let's have a look. So yeah, so I had to leave college early. So just because they sort of, because she was a piece of work, and she didn't like my general naughtiness, I don't think. But I wasn't naughty. I mean, I was just honest. I said, well, I'd like to make this an office where people don't smoke. And also, it's always the way, isn't it, that lots of people feel the same, but they don't say it. They don't sort of say, oh, that's a good one. They only say it to you afterwards. And I don't mind putting my head above that little parapet on behalf of the greater good. It's a bit like when, where is she? Where's Liz? Actually, these two, right? Let me just see on my watch if this works. So these two, Liz, Merrill Utility Shoe, which I haven't mentioned enough recently. The Merrill Utility, it went for click and collect today, covered in. So she had a hazmat suit on, goggles, gloves, the lot, but she's also got those shoes that cover shoes. So she had a Merrill Utility cover shoe today, and this one. So we were out in Azerbaijan, and our friend we were with, Samantha, wanted to watch Wolf Hall. Now, if any of you have seen Wolf Hall, I couldn't believe what I was watching, because it was so highly acclaimed, right? So highly acclaimed. It had Mark Rylance in it, an amazing cast. But I thought, I mean, I laughed because it was a bit like an old school BBC drama where if you shut a door, the wall wobbled, and you could see where all the props had been hired from. They were all these. If you ever watch it, there's one scene where 1 minute the room is this particular room, but obviously for cost they try and use this room again, and they sort of pipe and drape, which is like black tat everywhere to make it look another room. And anyway, I started giggling because everybody was watching it. It's really intense, you know, it's not like a comedy or anything, and it certainly isn't death row stuff, but I got the real giggles watching it because I thought I really want to comment on this badly. And there's only 4 of us in the room. But I got the real giggles, and I just couldn't stand it, and I just thought, for example, so when the camera went past, there was someone playing the lute, right, on the windowsill, but it wasn't him playing it, he was going bring, he wasn't really playing it because he couldn't really play it, so he was sort of pretending to brush the lute strings, but the music was completely different, and he had one of those earnest lute faces, you know, like, oh, my liege, that sort of face. It was so acted, I can't explain it. Well, I can explain it, that's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, so I got the giggles because I thought those props are such dusty old props, and if it was in those olden days, they'd be new. They wouldn't be covered in full as earth dust. Really, it would be genuinely, they would be new. But anyway, it just made me laugh, and I got hysterical. However, when this came up and I got the giggles, so at the end, first of all, how many watched? 3, and I was weeping on my own in the chair because I didn't want to disturb their. You know, if they were all enjoying it. Anyway, these two. So I said to Sam, I'm not being funny, I said, I think this is absolutely atrocious. I said, I know it's Mark Rylance, he's an amazing actor, and I know it's really a brilliant play, but I'm not in the zone, I can't watch it seriously because I'm seeing too many other things that really I want to laugh about, because it's, you know, the production, and some things you just can't, you know, you can't comment on, can you, if people think it's really, really worthy, and I just look like a pleb. And anyway, so we watched instead Frankie and Grace, which again was absolutely atrocious and just dreadful. And I again got the giggles, but you see, the problem is these two felt exactly the same. They felt exactly the same. So I said to those two. When Sam knit I said, right, you two, do you think this is any good? They went, oh God, no, it's actually dreadful. I said, oh, well, thanks for letting me say it. Anyway, do you think these two, do you think they'd say it? Absolutely not. So I said, oh, so guys, so when Sam came out, she was laughing. She said, Joe, I can't believe you think it's so bad. I said, they do as well. And they went, no. And I said, no, do you think this is rubbish, or do you think it's not? And they went, no, it's great. It's great. Let's watch another fucking one. Well, that serves them right. So we had to watch more, right? Because I was deemed the imbecilic buffoon who just doesn't understand real theatre and real stuff. And it serves you two right. Sorry to put you on my knickers. Serves you two right. We had to sit through more of Walpole, didn't we? Right? But I'd nailed my colours completely to the mast and I was done with it. But you two had to pretend and you two had to chat. I played Candy Crush, but that was good for me. So here we go. May that be a lesson to you. If you're not honest, you might end up watching more Walpole than you mean. I love you. I'm going. I will come back tomorrow with more stories of me at college. And yeah, so apart from my weight gain, just my dreadful ability to work properly, and this diatribe of nonsense over a jigsaw, I'll see you at the next one. Bye.